Hey, welcome everybody. Remember that? Remember those days?
Yeah.
It's not too far. It is longer than you think. That was like a long time ago.
I've got no concept of time, and also I don't listen to this podcast, so I've got no idea.
I'm almost 50, so.
I remember there was one point, I think you and Dom were over. I don't know if Todd was over, where we were looking through trying to find when that stopped.
When that stopped, yes.
Because I think it did go on longer than I remembered going on.
Ladies and
gentlemen, welcome everyone to the Pass the Controller podcast, the show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about podcast lore too much. Either way, we have a new episode for each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Martini Mike. Mike, how you doing today? I don't know why I said martini that way, and it like hurt coming out of my mouth.
Todd, you weren't here last week, but what happened was we talked so long about American Idol that Brenden decided I'm not even going to do like a little banter thing in the beginning. I'm just going to immediately start introducing people. Otherwise, we're going to get sidetracked way too long.
Why American Idol?
Honestly, it might be a thing that just happens from now on. I might just try to rush into it so we don't get bottled up, and we're doing it right now. We're getting bottled up.
I don't need to go into. I don't need to go into.
That actually reminds me. I still haven't uploaded last week's podcast. So if you're listening live right now, or you're listening to this, I don't know. You're gonna get a double dip this weekend because I didn't upload last week's podcast. Partially because I was like, the fuck did we even talk about? It's just sitting on my laptop. Like, all right, I gotta.
Wait, why did you talk about American Idol?
I don't know why it came up. I have no idea where I came up. I think we were just talking about reality TV for some reason. Yeah, and we went down a real. We had other things to talk about.
Did you go over like your favorite American Idol and everything? Or?
We're not doing
Brenden has no idea what happened on
Todd is trying to bait the conversation out. I'm like, don't.
I don't know, because I was just going to give you my favorite.
It's working.
It's not working.
I just wanted to give my favorite American Idol.
You can give yours. Also joining us, of course, is Todd Gary, the America's Idol. I hate America's Idol. Todd Gary. Holy shit, that's your new intro, America's Idol.
I remember this dude's name though, so that's why I'm going.
Bo Bice?
Taylor Hicks.
Taylor Hicks. Really?
Yeah, he was, yes.
I'm telling Dom.
That's your guy?
Yeah, because he was so ridiculous that like I was like, I want this guy to win.
I don't know anything about American Idol. I don't care about American Idol. Bo Bice.
I don't think I ever watched a complete season of it though, ever.
I'm still now confused. Is Bo Bice a musician from American Idol, or was that a joke you were making? Okay, all right. I didn't know if it was a joke from something else, and you kept saying Bo Bice's brother.
No, the joke Bo Bice's brother is from something else, but Bo Bice was on American Idol.
Okay. Anyways, we're not doing this again. We got a great.
I believe he was in season 1. So then season 2 was 2. Oh, go ahead, Brett.
We're gonna probably.
I was really hoping.
I was honestly, I was gonna take a back seat if Todd was about to fucking shed some knowledge. Now I feel like I wish Todd was here last week. We would have had a really, really in-depth American Idol conversation. Anyways,
was there a guest? Or was just the crew?
We had Taylor Hicks on.
Oh fuck! God damn.
I wish I had another name to pull out. I couldn't. I was like,
that's it. That's the only one I could think of.
Which is wild because we talked about it for 45 minutes last week.
I know. But instead of like staring at the computer fucking camera, my camera, and stuttering and going, I was like, nope. I'm just gonna say what Todd just said because I can't. I could have said Bo Bice and I didn't. I just. There was no.
We established that you knew who Carrie Underwood was.
When
Bo Bice is his name.
When the little guy in my head walked over to the American Idol folder in my brain, he opened it and goes, "Oh no, dust poofed out." And he was like, "No, it's just disintegrated." He goes, "Why do you have this? You don't even have any. This is a file not found."
It's an empty folder.
Yeah. Sapphire J in the chat said season 2 was Clay Aiken and Ruben Sutter. No, I hate what
Ruben was who I thought you were talking about.
That's
who I thought you were saying. Bo Bice. I don't even know who Bo Bice is.
I don't know who any of these people. I don't know who Bo Bice is. I think I know who Clay Aiken looks like and Ruben.
I know
Sutter
who Clay Aiken is and Ruben Sutter. Yeah.
I know who Clay Aiken looks like. He looks like Clay Aiken.
Anyways, we have a horrible show for you tonight. But before we continue,
finally, oh my god!
before what?
What happened, Mike? Mike, what happened?
Did you Google Clay Aiken? What did you
No, I Googled Bo Bice because I don't remember what he looked like.
Oh, I just texted him to you guys. Mike, I just texted.
Todd, that looks like every other sales rep in our day job.
For real.
That guy looks like he works for Craft Collective.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Sorry, Bo Bice. You're we're
all right.
You're welcome
quickly,
to the show anytime.
I just need to quickly say, because I had to Google to make sure that he was the runner-up. Do you know who won that year? That he was runner-up?
Me?
I know you didn't know.
Fantasia?
Yes.
Did Fantasia win that year?
No.
What, season 2?
No.
What season?
I'm not gonna tell you what season. Just guess who you think won that year.
What year? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the year
Bo Bice was on American Idol. He was runner-up. He did not win that year. He was runner-up, so he was second place. Who won that season that he was on?
Taylor Hicks.
Carrie Underwood.
Yes. I said it because I knew Carrie Underwood was the one person you knew.
Why, Mike? Why? I don't. What are we doing right now? This is a horrible podcast.
Whatever.
For
Go.
horrible people. Made by horrible
let's
people.
keep it the fucking.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this
wait,
again.
Actually, do you guys watch The Voice by any chance?
Oh no.
No. But we did talk about that too.
What do you got? What do you got? Yeah, what do you got?
I got nothing. I have nothing. I've never watched it.
Oh my goodness. Well, Sapphire Jade, I'm so glad I can pull that off the top of my head. My elementary school music teacher was obsessed with Clay Aiken. I missed last week's episode. Well, you will get last week's episode this weekend because I still haven't put it on the internet. So sorry about that. Anyways, we have a horrible show for you tonight. We are not going to talk more about American Idol. I promise that I won't. I promise that I won't. I promise I will steer the conversation away from it if it keeps trying to go there.
Tune into my stream after the show. I will talk about American Idol.
There you go. See, Mike, you have your own. Now you have your little niche. You know what I mean? Like you know what your little avenue carved out. Little Mikey D's. American Idol. I don't know. Someone has to have made there's got to be like an American Idol custom game mode in Fortnite at this point, right? There has to be. I don't know what that would be.
Why not? But I'll start working on it.
Okay.
I've got Unreal Engine.
We have a terrible show for you. I keep saying I can't get past that line. We just keep getting pulled right back in. Before we get into the rest of whatever this mess is, we are sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, something sweet, something tasty, something fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious scrum-diddly-umptious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and at Good Morning Chubby to educate yourself on these tasty, scrumptious little treats. I think I just said scrumptious in both parts of that, so I shouldn't have went off the script that's baked into my brain. Anyways, see what I did there, Mike? Baked off the cuff. Anyways.
I wasn't listening to you.
You made the right call. Other quick housekeeping things. I think that's it. We were gonna probably this week was gonna be the movie club episode, but because the week ends in the middle, the month ends in the middle of the week, and Dom, unfortunately, if you're watching, you already can see that Dom is not here. Was not here, so we're gonna punt the movie to next week. So that will be our next week plan before things get disheveled and disrupted again because of PAX East the following week. So get ready for the next 2 months to have a ton of disruptive weeks. I apologize in advance. I will try to bank some episodes so that we don't go weeks without things. I'll try to get some stuff with some guests in betweens, so we have some stuff to fill up and we don't miss weeks, and you still have a terrible podcast to listen to when you decide that you want to listen to a terrible podcast. I think the next movie pick is Todd. Yes, Todd is made. Do you know your movie, Todd? Do you want to drop that now?
I have a list. I'm probably not gonna drop it right now, but I'll let you know what mine's going. I have my favorite 80s comedies is one category.
Oh.
I have Jeremy Saulner movies. It's another category. Mm-hmm. And picks I've almost picked multiple times but never make the cut is my other category. And that's
Are we guessing?
Wow.
What are we doing? Are we guessing?
I'll wait for Dom I'll wait for the movie one next week. So
okay.
So Dom can get involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I just as a little looking ahead, I guess there are going to be a bunch of weeks that get disrupted in May. There are going to be a bunch of weeks that get disrupted in June. Maybe just one in both months.
Wait, what's going on in June?
Mike and I will be in LA for
Oh,
Summer
you
Game
going
Fest.
back?
So Mike and I will be out for Summer Game Fest, so there'll be some hiccup in the beginning of the month. There'll be...
Todd, do you want to tag along?
Potentially.
I would love to, but it's impossible.
We'll have some stuff around
that would be
PAX
like a
East, but it
dream
will
for
be
me.
probably delayed just because of we'll be at PAX East. And then, yeah, I mean, there's some other stuff later in the year that will be disruptive. But again, I'm gonna try to be cognizant of those things and bank some episodes so that you're not missing out on stuff. And yeah, that's all I got for housekeeping, I guess.
I will also use my kids as an excuse because I hate flying, even though like I would go to that, but like I do hate fucking flying. So like if like, I can think of it, I just don't even want to be in a plane. The week leading up to flying, and while I'm away, if I went, I would just be thinking about the flight back. It's just like it's impossible. I'll have a good time, but I'll just like on edge the whole time. There's weed in LA though, so I can make it work.
Big weed guy. I am not gonna reveal anything yet, but we are gonna play a new game tonight at the end of the episode. A brand new game, not played yet.
Oh, is that why you sent me? Points
to be had. I'm going to say, Michael, because you are in last place.
Sick.
You actually. No.
All right, never mind.
We're going to hold that to the end of the episode. We're not going to reveal anything about the new game. We're going to play a new game. We're going to all just get it revealed at the end.
All right.
Anyways, I want to blame Todd, and I want to blame fucking Fortnite.
Yes.
I'm at the endish of season 1 of Adventure Time.
I thought you were going to say I've been listening to Sabrina Carpenter, but yes, this also makes sense.
Here's what I have to say. I think if I watched that show when it came out, when did it come out? What year was that?
I think we were already in college.
Yeah, it was like
2007, 2008.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
2010.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like
7 years out of college.
I think I would have maybe enjoyed it more if I watched it then, but I am enjoying it now.
I think before you even go on, I think that you need to get past the first season and start entering into like further seasons, because the first season
more serialized.
And I don't think the first season they even like there's like backstory to Finn that like completely changes as the show goes on. So like it's like one of those things where like finding like a cohesive story.
So he's not a orphan baby that landed in his own boom boom that was found by Jake's parents.
Yes and no.
All that is true.
Yes.
The thing is that
all right, well, there's more to it though.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. But essentially,
and like we know the main villain too is like coming probably in season 2. Okay. I think season 2. He's like it's like a Thanos build up for the villain too. You see him like once a season, if that, and like continually, down the line. It's
the show starts off a lot more just like wacky, sort of like, almost random for random's sake, and then later on they start actually building out lore. So all these things, there's like a reason for all this.
Some really crazy lore too, and Brenden, there's so many things I've wanted to say. Like, there's one thing I wanted to send you. I die laughing, and I think it's like season 4 or 5 every time I watch this part. But I wanted to make sure you were going to continue with the show because I don't want to send it to you. It's not like a spoiler for like the overall arching plot, but like it is. I laugh so hard every time I see this. It's kind of like the video I sent Brenden that got him to watch this show was did I send it to you, Mike?
I don't think so.
It's Finn's talking to Marceline, and she's like, "That I like that shirt" or something. Oh, my mic keeps on cutting out.
Yeah,
so just tell me, bro. All right. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the problem is. But...
I'll switch off this mic. I think this mic's like.
He sent me a clip, and honestly, it was the fucking domino that fell. That was like, okay, I'll watch the show. And it's such a dumb clip that I have watched an amount of times that I don't want to say out loud. it is Marceline,
Marceline.
like sitting down next to Finn, and she just goes, or whatever they just go, hey, I forgot to ask you.
What's with that pocket?
Yeah, I forgot to ask you what's in that pocket on your shirt.
And is that and then Jake pops out?
Yeah, he
Jake
pops out and just a little toot.
He just rotates around and
yeah. But there's so many. There's so many already in this first season. There's so many like just farts for the joke, farts for no reason, and I'm like, all right, I kind of fucking around with this show a little bit. Yeah, it's been enjoyable. I mean, the fact that they're like 12-minute episodes. Did they say 12 minutes through the whole thing or no?
There's some that are a little longer, but for the most part, like they're pretty short episodes.
I think and I'm speaking on my ass here because again, I think I mentioned before, like even though I want to watch a show, it was airing when I didn't have cable, so I missed a lot of it. I think for a while it was, they'd have a half-hour block, but there'd be those 2 12-minute episodes. Maybe at a certain point, rather than having 2 12-minute episodes, it will take up the entire, block of time that it has. Not that it's a half hour long, but maybe it's going to be like the full 24 or 22 rather.
Okay.
There's also Distant Lands, which is four 1-hour episodes after all said and done. There's also they're like closeout episodes for there's like an episode about Jake and Finn. There's an episode about Marceline and Princess Bubblegum. There's an episode about I forget what else there's a couple other ones, and then there's also another season of it's called Vampire. It has to do with is my mic cutting out? Or are you just making fun of me because I know
it is a little bit, but also I'm gonna make fun of you because of that.
The fuck?
No, you're fine. You're fine. It is what it is.
Is it as bad as it was before?
No,
I don't know. Yeah. I will say also because I'm a broken person. When I was watching it the other day, yesterday, or whatever, at one point, I forget what clip had popped into my brain while I was driving this morning. I forget what it was. And then I just to myself this morning in the car. Granted, it was early and I barely slept last night and I haven't finished my coffee yet. I'm driving. It's 7 a.m. I just giggled to myself and just went, "Gold doggy."
Wait, have you gotten to? You watched the whole first season. You said, have you got to the auto-tune Jake when he's like, "Baby, I got what you need." When he's like.
I mean, there was an episode like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's so good. I love it.
I mean, the episode where Marceline comes in is good for the first time.
It's great. Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. It's good. It's enjoyable. I think I'd probably. I mean, who knows? Maybe my opinion will change. It's 10 seasons, right? It's it's long. There's some stuff there, so maybe my opinion will change. But so far, I'm not disliking it. I'm enjoying it. I've been throwing it on while I work out and whatever, and it's just been quick. I think I will enjoy it. I just think that I would probably end up having a stronger affinity for it if I had watched it.
If you saw it 10 years ago.
Yes, I think I'd be more. I don't know. Maybe saying algebraic or something. I don't fucking know.
I don't even think he does that much after the first
really?
2 seasons.
The thing that I was talking about too, whenever we brought this up initially, it must have been when they got added to Fortnite. I don't know if we brought it up on the podcast or if we brought it up while we were playing Fortnite. But when I had said no, I think I saw the short that was on comedies, or I keep saying Comedy Central, Cartoon Network.
Nickelodeon.
Oh, it was on Nickelodeon first?
I believe initially the show was pitched to Nickelodeon. It fell through there, but there was a short.
So I don't know if it was the short that I was actually referencing or if it was that episode the first time Ice King shows up. But it was an Ice King thing. That was the thing that I knew had in my brain about the show. That was basically the extent of the show. Anyways, I don't know. It's fun. It's a good time. I'll watch more.
Listen, Ice King lore is so good too. When you
Ice King lore is pretty good.
Deep into it, it's one of the best parts. One of my favorite parts of the show.
I'm wondering if it's just an internet thing for Todd, because that sounded like internet cutout.
Yeah, it was whatever. We'll have to deal with it.
Yeah,
this is not a high-end production.
Well, you guys sound like you're cutting out too, so it's I'm confused. Yeah,
Mike is not cutting out.
Okay.
So I think it's your internet, maybe. It's fine. We'll stop right now, and you guys drive over here.
We'll fix it in post.
I'll get some drinks, and we'll just record in person. Anyways. So there's that. Are either of you watching The Last of Us? We don't need to get into it, but
tomorrow.
No.
Oh, you're gonna start it tomorrow, or start the second season?
Yeah, I have a second season. Yeah.
it's probably nothing to really talk about, especially because you're talking around spoilers and people that have played the game will know things that are going to happen in this season. But if people are listening that don't have that familiarity, I don't really want to be the thing that spoils that for them. But it's fine. I think so far, I think the second season is just okay. I'm hoping
you're 2 episodes in. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, but like 2 episodes in with some kind of big deal stuff, and I feel like big deal stuff that you got to kind of like hit the big deal stuff with the big boy bat and like hit it out of the park. And I don't know if it's doing that. You know
I forget what I read.
Or I guess maybe with the golf club and hit a hole in one.
I was gonna make that joke, but you already took it from me. You never said, or rather, how did Jen react to the second episode?
Okay,
can you talk about that?
Yeah, yes. So I'm gonna obviously Todd knows, and I guess clearly you know what the fuck we're talking about. So if you do not want The Last of Us Part 2/Season 2 spoilers for the second episode, I'm not going to talk in depth, but I am going to reference certain things. So if you don't want that spoiled for you, I would skip ahead. I don't know, I would skip ahead like 5 minutes minimum. I mean, we'll probably be done before that, but I don't want to even risk it. And I'm definitely not going to remember to put that in the show notes. So I apologize. Just skip ahead. Couple minutes. Just skip ahead a couple minutes. We're not going to be missing anything important. Yeah, you're not.
Even if we stop talking about before that, you're not going to miss anything important.
No. So I'll try to do it quick. So, okay. Spoiler hats on. She had gotten I don't know if it was because of me, got an inkling that something was afoot, or was gonna happen, because her sister's also watching the show. And when we were at her parents' house for Easter, I had said something along the lines of, I was like, so Jen had told me what she thinks is gonna happen in the season. I was like, do you have what do you think is gonna happen? And her sister was like, I think either this person's going to die or this person's going to die or this is going to happen or this is going to happen. And I was like, okay. I was like, text Jen tonight after you watch the episode. I'm curious what you think. And maybe I shouldn't have said that, because I don't think it ticked any boxes for her sister. But then Jen's gears got turning of like, okay, well, something's clearly going to happen in this episode because you are like eager to see our opinions. And I've been waiting all week for this episode. When I knew it was this episode, I was like, I cannot wait to see how, because she likes the show, but I think she heavily likes the show because she really likes Pedro Pascal. So knowing what was about to happen, I was like, is this going to mean no more show for her? Sunday night last week, her sister, incredible string of text messages coming flooded in, because we finished before they did, and it was just like, this is not good. Okay, wait, okay, seriously, okay, oh no, fuck this show, I'm not watching this show anymore. Jen didn't have
I'm hearing people have that that reaction to things too. It's wild to me. Well, not wild, but
Listen,
I get it sort of. But it's just funny.
I think there is a mainstream on. I was talking to Ken Shepard, friend of the show, about this the other day. I wish there was a way to know the percentage of people that are watching the show who don't know either that it was a video game is the source material, or know, even if they know it's a video game, like they don't have any knowledge of the video game. So like it's all, they're watching it because of they like HBO shows and they're just watching a new HBO show. They like XYZ actor, so they're watching it for that reason. But in this specific case, I do think you have a lot of people tuning in because of Pedro Pascal. So
100%.
Like that, I'm curious to see if there's like a dip in, even if there's a dip in viewership, like there's no way HBO is going to fucking say that. They're not going to put that out in the world. They're not going to say those things. No. But I also will say, like, especially if you've played the game, like, just because he's dead, he's going to show up, I would imagine, in a few other scenes.
Yes.
Oh, don't talk about zombie fucking Joel. We don't want to talk about that yet.
There's no zombie Joel.
No.
I mean, maybe there is, but not in the game there isn't.
Yeah. I honestly, Joel, I'm not a big. I like Pedro Pascal a little bit, but like, I think Bella's the best part of the show. I think she like nails Ellie. Like she like the mannerisms, like the voice, and like
Bella is fantastic as they are fantastic
it's
as
awesome. Yeah,
Ellie. Isabel Merced is fantastic as Dina.
I can't wait to yeah.
And
know what's funny is that
I like Caitlin Dever, and I think Caitlin Dever so far is doing
I
a
do.
good job. I just think it is I don't know if it's her or the writing or whatever, but it definitely is a different interpretation of the character Abby so far. Like it's not a 1-to-1, doesn't need to be a 1-to-1, but there's like some noticeable, again, it could just be the writing of the show and the way the show is structured compared to the game, but like, you know.
Yeah, one of the things I was reading actually might have been today, was like the comparison between the show and the game, in that I guess in the show they pretty much tell you up front what her motivation is, whereas in the game I guess you don't find that out until like way later.
I don't remember exactly, but I feel like you don't find that motivation out until like the middle of the game.
You find it out right when the switch basically when you find out.
It is interesting that is revealed up front. I don't know. The show is fine. I was hoping for more, especially knowing what this season is gonna cover.
Seasons. I think it's gonna be 2 seasons.
I think it's at least gonna be 2 seasons. Well, I know.
Did you know what I read?
I know where this season ends. So like I know like what this season specifically is gonna cover, and you know I am excited to see that stuff, but I'm now a little bit, I don't even say less excited. I think I'm just gonna be, I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to have tempered expectations. Maybe it's just really honestly going to be a matter of what they had to cover in the second episode. Maybe it could have been done better, in my opinion, or other people's opinions. But also, it was probably an impossible task regardless, because it's such an important thing in the game that, like, I think no matter what, probably could never really match the intensity or what it meant to the people who played the game, I guess. Like I don't know if it really could have ever really hit. It could have been better, I think, but I don't think it could have hit the same high.
That I've said it a million times, that scene in the game like broke me. Like I walked around the house like moping.
Yeah.
Like I was like really, I was like legit like upset.
Yeah. I mean, there are other parts in part 2 that like fucked me up bad, and like I hope they nail those things. I'm like looking forward to certain things. Like you and I were talking about certain things that I won't say now because again I don't want to like go into like spoiler stuff. But
well, I read something that someone said that there's one episode that's so good it makes the season just as good as the first season. It was basically like the episode from last season. There's an episode coming up. I'm sure it has to do with like, you know, like
yeah. Well,
it's
be careful what you say right now.
Or
yeah, I would just be careful what you say right now.
But like
this is what I'll say. I like the first season of the show. I had some issues with it. I think the Bill and Frank episode of season 1.
Okay, that's what the name was. In my head, I'm like, I know it was Bill and something. I kept saying Bill and Ted. I'm like, that's definitely not right, but I know there was like a name, like the names of 2 people.
I feel like the Bill and Frank episode is probably like, not probably, I just don't know where I would put a number on it, but it is one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen. And it's probably in the top 5, if not higher. It is that good. And to me, when the best episode of your season of that game, that's a great game that I love, Todd loves, a lot of people love, is a thing that is when it diverges the most from the source material, at least as far as like things you see in the game. Like those things, those characters and those things existed in like environmental storytelling, notes that you find, like things you can find in the world that will like explain this type of thing that was like this thing that was going on. Basically, you do meet Bill, but you never meet Frank in the game, so you don't really see those things. And it's oh man, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing for the show, and that's the best episode of the first season in my opinion, like by a fucking mile.
I think that's a good thing for people who played the game.
Oh, 100%.
know what I'm saying? Like it deviated from. It gave
Well,
us like a cool
so
little sidebar thing.
and I love it. I think about that episode often, and I've watched that episode more than once. And it's very rare that I would go back to like a show like this and rewatch an episode. Breaking Bad's probably the only other like example of me ever doing that. But this is another thing I said to Ken. I was like, it kind of feels like to me some of the choices they make, not the Bill and Frank thing, just in general with how they deviate from the source material. Actually, when season 2 is done, we can have an episode on The Last of Us. We don't need to get into this right now because we're just going to start talking about The Last of Us for the next whatever. Sorry if you were skipped ahead for that.
Yeah, I don't want to belabor any points, and honestly, I don't have a full thought yet. This is like a thing that I would have had to come up with beforehand and then pose it to the whatever panel. Because that Bill and Frank episode, despite the fact that I've never watched, actually, I probably did watch it. I think I was at your place once, and you like watch this episode, and I think I feel like I watched the whole episode. I don't remember if I saw the entire thing. I don't remember what happened.
We definitely,
like I remember the beginning.
We definitely put it on that Halloween because Jen and I were dressed up, and you were over the house. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. You had to put it on. Essentially, all I want to get at was it makes me think of like those episodes in any individual season of Mythic Quest. More for like the first, I think, 2 seasons. What happened in the 3rd season? I can't remember.
Like there's the episode where the fucking old guy, it's like his like him in the past. Yeah, that's I remember really liking that episode.
Or the one that has fucking Nick from New Girl in the 1st season. It was Nick from New Girl, and it might have been.
Who it was about though.
That one was like more weird because like it was essentially like the people who own the building that Mythic Quest takes place in before they got the building.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the other 3rd season was about young Nick and young Ian and young Poppy. Now I remember. Okay.
I think I vaguely remember that now too. But yeah, the one where he's played by Big Head, I think, right, from Silicon Valley.
He's played by Big Head from yes.
Okay.
From Silicon Valley.
That was a good episode of television too.
Yeah.
Very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, I essentially I wanted to like almost pose the question of how those shows or those episodes specifically function within the context of their story, and if that's what elevates them almost like because the fact that they're so not a part of everything else that's happening.
Well,
I don't have that full thought.
It is
constructed.
So you want to know like if that elevates it in The Last of Us? You mean? So like
I think in general, like I only have those things from Mythic Quest in that episode. I'm sure there's other things I could probably come up with, but like because we're talking about that and it like popped into my mind.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I don't know.
I think it works on so many levels from The Last of Us because like you do have interactions with other characters in previous episodes with them. So like you do get their function within the world according to Joel and Ellie, like their version of what's going on in that world. And you have the function that Bill specifically, Frank is there too, but the function that Bill provides for them both, you know, in that world and storytelling, whatever. And then you get that breakout episode that is like the full story of Bill and Frank, like how they meet and how they end. And that's the whole episode is that. And it's fucking amazing. And I can't remember if the episode ends with how Joel and Ellie interact with the end or if that's how the next episode starts. It might be how the next episode starts. I can't remember. But you do
I don't
get
think Ellie was there. I think it was Joel and what's her name that I can't remember.
Joel and the other lady from Boston are they go to meet Bill and Frank when they're alive. Spoiler, Bill and Frank die.
Oh.
Joel and Ellie show up after they are dead. Because they are going to ask Bill for a fucking car battery. That's why they're going there. Anyways, I don't know. We'll talk about The Last of Us when the season ends, and then we'll go from there. Mike, have you been playing anything, watching anything?
Playing nothing, watching the same shit I was watching last week.
Okay.
Did I mention I was watching the new Gundam series? I don't know. I'm watching
so.
that too. Whatever. I started watching that. It's good. I didn't realize Amazon Prime. I know it's weird. I didn't realize I'm not like the biggest Gundam whatever. Like I watch Gundam things, but specifically with Gundam, as my understanding is, there's two continuities where there's, I think Universal Century is all like, they all take place in the same universe, in the same timeline. So like things are referenced that happened in a previous season. And then there's, I think, Future Century. I forget what the other one's called. The other one's like basically alternate universes where it's just like Gundams exist in that universe, but they have nothing to do with things that happen in the Universal Century. This new Gundam series, which is called Gundam Quux, I guess. Okay. It's like Gundam Gundam G Quux. It's Gundam capital G Q, and then there's like 7 U's and an X. I don't know. Characters in the story have said Quux, so I guess I'll just call it Quux.
Okay.
This one, as far as I can tell, seems to be, it's almost as if it's the main timeline if things happen differently. So it's like it's an alternate version of the main timeline, which I think is different from like the other alternate universe things, where the other alternate universe things are just like Gundam stories that have nothing to do. I said that wrong, but essentially this is like just different. I think if I had watched the original Gundam, it would hit a lot harder with me seeing certain things happen the way they do. But yeah, like I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's only 2 or 3 episodes in currently.
Yeah. I want to watch a Gundam at some point. I just want to get a Gundam under my belt.
I've had this in the back of my head for a bit. I was like, if I had to get these guys to watch Gundam, what would I have them watch? And I feel like I would have you watch Witch from Mercury, and I feel like I would have Todd watch Iron Blood Orphans.
Oh, so different things for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because I'm pretty sure. I think Eric, friend of the show, Eric Van Allen, also told me to watch Witch from Mercury. But yeah, explain your reasoning.
I feel like just in general, Gundam series do revolve around the theme of war and like, you know, how both sides blah 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 and people dying left and right, etc., etc. And I feel like that's really encapsulated by Iron Blood Orphans, which is why I think Todd might actually enjoy it. The way, like, you know, Iron Blood Orphans is essentially, I think there are a bunch of like orphans, like literally orphans, that are forced to work, I'm going to say as slaves sort of, and they basically kind of break out of that and start their own little military faction, and they help somebody get to Earth to, like, you know, advocate for them, like some sort of, I don't want to say princess, but essentially they're some sort of government person. They're trying to help them get there, and they get wrapped up in this whole military doodah, and it's really good. So there's that. Witch from Mercury is a little bit simpler. There's still like war stuff, but essentially this
he's
girl
saying you're simple, Brenden. That's wrong.
Yeah, I'm saying Brennan's a little dummy. Yeah, I'm gonna do a really bad job explaining these things too. But yeah, Witch from Mercury, how did that one go? Yeah, this girl basically goes to like this school to learn how to pilot Gundams. And I'm going to say Gundams like that, even though I'm pretty sure within each respective series, there are mobile suits where like the giant robots that you walk around in, and I feel like Gundams specifically in each of these stories is distinct from a mobile suit, like they're special in some capacity. I don't remember exactly how that plays out in Witch from Mercury, but I'm gonna use it interchangeably for now. So she goes to a school to like learn how to pilot these Gundams, and there's still another war that occurs involving Earth and space. I feel like a lot of these series involve there's like Earth and then the people that have colonized space, and then there becomes like a whole divide between the two. What actually happened in Witch from Mercury? That is a good
Spoil the shit out
question.
of it right now.
Well, I mean, whatever. Where can I watch it? I'll just give it a shot at some point. I
Let
can
me
also
make
just look
sure.
it up too, but
I know I was watching it on Crunchyroll. I'm just gonna see if it's anywhere else because like it's been like a year or two since it ended.
so for what it's worth, none of this means anything to me. Both what you were talking about and what I just looked up. But I found a Reddit poll that seems to have had a lot of interaction on it when this poll was made for top Gundam series all time. And do you have a guess what you think number one is?
I don't. So here's what I'm gonna say right now. There are two Gundam series that I'm gonna say Wing. Probably Wing. I think people do love Wing.
Okay. I'm going to say right now that you're wrong, but I'll tell you the answer. Also, looking through this, unless it is called something else, either officially or colloquially, Witch from Mercury is not even on this list of 24 series. So,
They might have called it G-Witch.
okay. So I'll just read through them quickly, and then we're going to move on. Number one is, I don't know if this is 0080 or something else, DO80, but War in the Pocket is number one.
Oh, I don't know that one. I was expecting 079.
Number two is Thunderbolt December Sky. Number three is Turn A Gundam. Number four is Mobile Fighter G Gundam. Number five.
Oh, G Gundam's my shit.
Number five is Mobile Suit Gundam. Fucking movies. It says. The eighth. Number six is the 08th MS Team. Number seven is Build Fighters. Number 8 is Zeta Gundam. Number 9 is Afterwar Gundam X. Number 10 is Gundam 00, maybe. Number 11.
Oh yeah, I like 00.
Number 11 is Gundam Unicorn. Number 12 is Gundam The Origin. Number 13 is
Origin.
Gundam Hathaway. Number 14 is Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Is that the one you were saying? Oh, that's the movie.
That's the movie, yeah.
Number 15 is Mobile Suit Gundam TV. Number 16 is Todd's Iron-Blooded Orphans. Number 17 is Build Divers Re-Rise. Number 18 is Kukuru's Dones Island. Am I saying that correctly? Okay. Number 19 is Char's Counterattack.
So much.
That was also a movie.
Number 20 is 0083's Stardust Memory. Number 21 is Build Fighters CM's Counterattack. Number 22 is Seed CE73 Stargazer. I think these are just...
Wait, say that again?
Seed CE73 Stargazer.
Okay, that might also be a movie.
Number 23 is Awakening of the Trailblazer. And number 24 is Gundam ZZ. I don't know what the parameters for this poll was. I googled best Gundam series, like best Gundam series all time, and then this Reddit thread popped up, and it has a lot of people. I'm gonna look
into that. So, as a kid, I remember Gundam Wing was on Toonami, and like I wasn't into it for some reason. Like I was too busy watching Nickelodeon, and then I got into G Gundam. G Gundam was the first one I really watched. And that one's entirely different from everything else. G Gundam is basically a shonen fucking anime. It's just with Gundams. And then I watched Gundam Seed. So I was confused why they put in like Seed, whatever one you mentioned. Because there was Seed and then there was Seed Destiny, which was the sequel. I don't know if I could recommend it to anybody. I know it was popular, but I feel like actual Gundam fans hate it. I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
It was something.
Yeah, it's always been a thing that's intrigued me. Obviously, like, people build Gundam, like Gunpla. Like
I'm still waiting to put together my fucking Strike Freedom Gundam.
Yeah, so I don't know. At some point, I'll pop one on. I mean, I did see like, I don't know if this is not the correct term to use anymore. I don't. Maybe I just won't even say it if it's not okay, if you're not supposed to say it. But the one that we watched at Anime Boston a long time ago, you wanted to go to a panel. It was a dub. Anime. I don't know if you're supposed to say that name or not.
Wait.
Tequila
then
Gundam.
I don't.
Tequila. I'm talking about Tequila Gundam.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're supposed.
That was from G Gundam.
Okay,
that was
I
from
don't know
G
if you're
Gundam,
not supposed to call it that. That's why I was like hesitant.
No, I mean I think that's just the name of it. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, G Gundam. That one was a great one.
So yeah, I mean that is I think the only Gundam I've ever watched was whatever we watched in that theater that one time at Anime Boston, probably like 10 plus years ago. Anyways. Clair Obscur. Let's just get to Clair Obscur and then get this episode over with. So obviously not that far into it. I'm probably about like somewhere between 5 and 7 hours. Todd's a little bit before me, but kind of just early thoughts. Todd, how are you feeling about Clair Obscur?
I'm loving it so far. I mean, my gripes with some of the games this year, like Assassin's Creed Shadows and like Monster Hunter, is like obviously Monster Hunter is whatever, but like the story is just like kind of blah to me. This story fucking hooked me within like 30 seconds of playing the game. That first opening part, like I'm sold, and then like after the opening part, the next part that happens, I was even sold times 10. I was like,
yeah,
oh, it's
the opening to that game is so good and so sad, and then the game just keeps being sad, and I'm just like, I know, but like I had said to a few friends of the show who either reviewed the game or are playing it during the review period, so they have like seen the extent of the game. I played through that intro, and then I said to them, I was like, if this is fucking me up, am I fucked for the rest of this game? And their response was like, buddy, you don't even know. You don't even know. I like desperately need to know what happens in this game. It is.
I was just gonna say, it's very rare I get a story that like I'm like I need to fucking. Yeah. Like, I'm so intrigued by this story that like I'm hooked.
Do you know anything about the story of this game, Mike?
Nothing. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I know nothing.
You're playing the game. Do you know anything about it? No.
No, but I'm hooked. No, but I'm hooked. It's the best story I ever played.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I do. I feel like at some point someone might have explained something to me. Clair Obscur, you said, right?
Yeah.
Expedition 33?
Yep.
I feel like I know what the 33 means, but other than that, I forget.
That whole premise of what the 33 means and like 30 is like the coolest friggin' thing ever.
And I feel like it's not a spoiler to explain that premise, right? I can tell Mike. No. You want to know, Mike, what that means?
You can confirm that I know what it means. I feel like I did hear it. I feel like I did hear it at some point, but I don't remember it enough to like try and explain it.
So basically, there's a being called the Paintress that every X amount of time they paint a new number, and it is in descending quantity. So it goes from whatever 100 down or whatever number it started at, and basically when it gets to the next number, anybody who is that age dies. So Expedition 33 is a group of 33-year-old people for the most part that are trying to stop that being from continuing to paint,
like trying to figure it out,
to paint a lower number, basically. So that is like the very broad stroke paint. I didn't mean to do that, but that's the very like broad stroke story of what's going on. But there's already so much more going on just in the brief that I have played, and it is. It has heat. It knocked me off my fucking chair, and I've been very, very eagerly waiting to get back to it. It also it's turn-based RPG, Mike. So if that speaks to you, it's got that going, and it's really fucking good.
but it implements like ways of it not. It's turn based, but it has like quick time events that makes it feel like you're still involved. Where like a lot of people complain about turn based.
I mean, I don't have a problem with turn-based stuff.
I fucking love it. This is my jam.
But it has timing-based attack and dodge things like Super Mario RPG or Sea of Stars or other like Paper Mario, similar types of turn-based games that implement like timed button presses to either attack stronger or dodge or parry or whatever it may be. And that stuff is also done so well. And not to like discredit other things, Sea of Stars did have some challenge to it, but like I feel like Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario for the most part, like when you get that timing down, like you're good, like you're gonna do it and do this and whatever. Sea of Stars had some like higher level skilled time presses that you had to like really be fucking focused and locked in to hit. This does it in two ways that I really fucking like. I don't know if there are more the further you get in, but on defense, there is the option to do a timed dodge or a timed parry. And if you do a dodge, obviously, like, yeah, you're going to dodge the attack. If you do a parry, you're going to counterattack them. But the window for hitting a parry is so much smaller.
Yeah,
so you have to like really time it correctly. And if you fuck that up, like you're going to take a lot of damage. So it really adds this layer of kind of, you can figure it out and get it down, but like most of the enemies attack very differently. So you have to like almost kind of chance it if you try to roll the dice on the first attack, because you might not know their attack pattern properly because they're different enemies. At least so far, there's a good mix of enemies that like, you fight some of the same stuff, but there's a lot of variety.
I just got to an enemy that like attacked me so quick. I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, I was like, "I didn't give me a chance to breathe."
I know exactly what you're talking about too. Yeah,
right.
And it's like more than one attack, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's so good. I love the characters. The voice acting is phenomenal. Like
voice acting's up there. It's Daredevil.
It's Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
Ben Starr plays someone. I just assumed Ben Starr was the main character. Is he not the main character?
No, he's the character you talk in the beginning in the first like 45 minutes. But Charlie Cox is him.
Huh. Let me see. Charlie Cox, Jennifer English, Kirsty Ryder.
What's his name? Gollum is the main character in this show.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to stop looking at stuff now because I don't want to see any more of that.
Yourself?
I don't want to see any more of that. But yeah, there's a lot of people in this that are doing phenomenal work. It's just really fucking good. I really don't. I'm sure I'll have more to say as I get through it and get to the end of it. But so far, I don't really have any complaints. It is hitting all the good juices in my brain.
It's funny because like this game for me is what Persona is for like you guys. And what kills Persona?
You cut out, so I have no idea. All I heard was this game for me is what.
I was gonna say
Persona. He said like Persona.
Well, he said something after.
Persona.
I don't know what he said after.
Because Persona, like all the school stuff and like, or like Fire Emblem Three Houses, like I don't care about that stuff. This game is just like straight meat and bones, and like I'm just going and I'm doing it, and like I prefer that. Like that's what I want.
I prefer. It's not that I prefer or don't prefer. Like I like both. Like this game, from what I can tell, doesn't really have that whole social link aspect. So you have to like do all that type of stuff, or like downtime hubs like school and other things like that. I don't know. I don't feel like there's a lot of like comparisons to Persona outside of that.
No, I think the fighting is pretty fucking. It borrows heavily from Persona, like the setup of like attack, this, that. It like very much like they definitely borrow from.
They definitely have their inspirations for sure. I mean, it is 100%. It's like hyper realistic and kind of hyper stylized at the same time. Like but it has its own style. Like the way the camera moves and like the way like attacks. Yep. Oh my god, it's so good. It all just feels and looks good.
You know when like you do like a perfect move in like Persona, and like the way it ends, and then you go right to like the stats. I feel like this game nails that just the same way, but like in its own way, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's very well presented. It's great. I mean,
33 devs. 33 devs. That's it.
Yeah, it has
It's basically an
got the
indie game.
sauce.
It's fucking basically an indie game at this like.
I mean, it is an indie game. They're an independent studio. I mean, they're published by Kepler Interactive, but I mean, they're still an indie game. I hope it continues to be this strong throughout, because it is like very easily, I think, had just jumped up to be my favorite thing I've played this year so far, and I'm still very early in the game, but so good. Mike, I know you don't care for when we recommend stuff, but I do think this is something you should probably put your eyeballs on. It's on Game Pass, so you have a way to access it.
Okay.
I also think Mike would like Blueprints.
Like, I probably would like Blueprints. I feel like I would like. I feel like I'd like to try the. I think I would like to try the puzzles. I don't know if I would get very far, but I feel like I would try.
No, I think you would. If I can get far, you'll be fine.
That's probably very true.
Yeah, that's accurate.
I mean, the next time you come over, Mike, you can just do some runs at my house, and then you'll know if you like the game or not. But I do think that this is something that I think both like gameplay wise, stylistically, and like tonally, like the story and the world, I think very much line up with some fucking Mikey shit. I think it is like something you should put on your radar to try to poke at this year.
I like this game. Yeah. I feel like this game was made for people who enjoy turn-based, and also people like the only reason I bring up Persona is because I feel like stylistically it makes me feel like it feels cool.
Yeah,
like,
it does feel cool. It feels fucking cool.
You know, like it's.
Yeah. If it's on Game Pass, then I can at least give it a shot.
Exactly, you can try it.
Yeah, you can
it's
just
a more
give it a
serious
shot.
Story though, like
Mike, something is making like a. I hope it's not coming through. I really apologize. And
I don't hear
this
anything.
episode.
Oh,
you guys? Okay, that's good. But I don't know if it's happening.
Don't worry. My mic's just cutting out.
No, it's like something is making like a. I don't even know how to describe the noise. It must be something on my mic stand that is like making a noise that maybe only I can hear. I hope it's only me, but it's really fucking annoying. So I apologize if it's there, because there's not a chance I can edit that out. Yeah, I don't know. Clair Obscur, fantastic. I want this podcast to be over so I can go play it. That's where I'm at. That's how I feel. That is how I feel about the game. I've been thinking about playing it all day. I've been thinking about playing it all week. I've been thinking about playing it for weeks. I've just been. It has remained a constant, and having it in my hands now, it has exceeded the hype that I had put behind it so far already. So I'm looking forward to
the
playing
second that whenever they released like the first clips for this game, I was like, whoa, this looks fucking amazing. And it's lived up to everything I saw.
It's so good. Like, oh man, the music's good. Like, it's so French. It's so French, and I fucking love it.
It's so good. I know.
Like everything about it is like, they mix in like Parisian. There's like obviously a lot of other things in the game that are very French. The music just feels fucking like it just all is French.
It all feels so French.
Which, I mean, makes sense. They're French developers, but like I don't know. It's like it's such an interesting world that they've built. It's so good.
You know what's so funny about this game is the first 45 minutes when you're walking around. I'm like, I feel like I'm Booker and Elizabeth, and I feel like I'm on what's it called? BioShock Infinite. It felt like you were up in the sky. Like the way that the town looked, I felt like I was like, the characters looked vaguely similar to in some ways, the way they dress. And oh man, I'm like, I already like this game, but like now you're making me think of like, BioShock Infinite, and like it has nothing to do with it. But I just felt like the character
do anything for me. But
no, yeah, of course.
I will say also I do like I'm trying to think of. Have you gone to like what is like the overworld type area?
Yes, so good.
It's so good. Like when it pulled back to that, I was like, man, this game is fucking cool. Like this game is just
I was so
cool.
excited for that. Yes, when that opened up like that, I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay, this is great.
At first I was like, oh, the game feels a little linear, but I'm okay with that because like I don't need an open world game. And then when that stuff opened, I was like, oh, this is a really cool way to handle this.
You checked out the map
because it feels
it's pretty.
It looks big, yeah.
It's big, yeah.
But like when it pulls back to that type of open world, I'm like, oh man, this feels like DNA of old RPG too. Like it feels like a Super Nintendo game. Like it's so good. It's oh man, they really are doing the thing with this game, and I'm fucking very happy about it. So yeah, I don't know, Clair Obscur, pretty fucking cool.
You know, it's so funny because we were talking about blueprints. Is like, you know, like, listen, I don't know my game of the year, but this is like a contender, and now we got a game 2 weeks later. I feel like this is a game of the year contender. God damn it! You know,
listen, I think this year has potential to be super stacked. I know you're not, you know, super pumped on a lot of stuff, but like, you know, just we
get Doom in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, just generally speaking, like not even things that personally I might put high or I might like or not play or whatever, but like you got things like Monster Hunter World, you got, you know, for some people Assassin's Creed Shadows, you got Blueprints, you got Clair Obscur, you got Mario Kart coming out, which I'm sure will be a lot of people's favorite game.
It's like a good little mixture. It's not like all the same type games. It's like a very like
was your probably like your biggest complaint last year for you personally. You felt like the beginning of the year was that last year? Was Final Fantasy last year?
Yeah. Wait, was it? Yeah, it was.
Jeez. So yeah, last year was like Infinite Well, Final Fantasy. Like it was a very RPG heavy at the beginning.
I was guessing about RPG. Yeah, like JRPGs, all that shit.
Anyways, I don't know. I think that'll do it.
We got French RPGs now.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. Before we wrap things up and before we play the game, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 460. I wrote 68, but I actually think this is 469. Let me double check.
Nice. I thought we were going to talk about the Switch too for like the briefest of seconds, but no, we should end this.
But I mean, that's what we should have talked about last week.
I mean, like in terms of like
69.
This was like the pre-order week.
Yeah, and, chaos. Making me stay up till midnight. Like you got one, right?
I was up until like 2 a.m.
Yeah, so we all.
I got a pre-order in, so like whatever, I'm fine. And I haven't gotten a cancellation email, so.
I keep on making Amanda got it through hers. I'm like, check your email. I'm like, can you check it again? I'm like making her check it like 5 times a day.
What I will say, if you're listening and you haven't got a Switch pre-order and you're still trying to, at least as of today recording, it seems like periodically throughout the day, at least according to Wario, pre-orders go back up on certain places. So like, keep trying if you're looking. I mean,
Nintendo hasn't done theirs yet.
Yeah. And I can tell you right now that like I currently have 2 pre-orders in and I only need 1. So like I'm sure there are probably other people like me who maybe have a preferred place they wanted to get a Switch from, but locked something else in, and they're maybe just waiting like I am, like another week just to make sure nothing gets canceled. And then I'm going to release my other pre-order. So like I think there will be if you're vigilant, I would recommend following Wario64 on social media. They're pretty good about posting shit like that. You know, you can hopefully get lucky. I don't know if you'll have the same luck this year with the Switch 2, but I can also tell you that when we went to the Switch 1 midnight launch at Best Buy, I had a pre-order. Mike went with me. Mike didn't pre-order it. I don't even think Mike planned on buying it that night, but they had extra Switches and Mike bought one because there was one there. So I don't know if that's going to happen again this year.
I think this year's going to be way different, just based off of like what everyone's talking about. I feel like it's going to. That's why I bothered getting a pre-order.
Wait, did you get a Pro controller, Brenden? Anyone get a Pro?
I didn't bother getting accessories.
I'm undecided if I kind of want to, and I probably will end up getting one. The
old
Switch,
one works,
the old
right?
one does work. I mean, the new one does have new stuff.
Whatever.
Like it has paddles in the back. I think it has some better other features, but
I'll get it eventually.
I've got that Pro 8. Like it doesn't have rumble, but it has paddles on the back. It has like a bunch of things that maybe I'll just use with that instead.
Yeah. My thing, my worry and this is like a thing that we probably won't be able to actually figure out ahead of time, unfortunately, is with the state of the world, with the dumbass president, with tariffs, all this shit, seeing as how it already caused hiccups with the pre-order window, and based around the messaging that Nintendo put out when they re-announced the pre-orders going up, they kind of allude to that maybe this is the temporary price, which makes me think that when the stock that's in the United States goes out, the price is going to go up. I feel like that's going to also trickle down to the peripherals. So, like, in my head, I'm like, I don't really want to buy a $90 Pro controller, but is it going to become a $120 Pro controller if I wait? So, like, I'm like in this limbo of, I do want one at some point. Do I just say fuck it and buy it now so I have it so I don't have to worry about that?
As long as the other Pro controllers work, though, like, I don't need the bells and whistles that the new Pro controller has. So, like, and Amanda bought me like another new Pro controller like a year ago that I haven't used my Switch barely at all. So it's like I get two.
I mean, I don't. I just have the one. So, but I mean, it's not like
I'm
I
gonna
need
need it though. I'm gonna need it for Mario
controllers.
Kart because
you're gonna need it for all the kids. Yeah,
Liam's already expecting a fucking Switch too, and I'm like, dude, you're in for a rude awakening. You're not touching mine.
Unless you're up at midnight also pre-ordering, you're not getting shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a fun night because I got to, a bunch of people, a bunch of friends, including you guys. Like everyone was up late. We're all up late, texting, and we gotta get this. Like, it was a fun kind of energy. A little bit. It was a little stressful.
It was stressful, yeah. You know what Liam said? Liam was like, Liam goes, I know you just got one. He's like, but I would prefer you got me one with the controllers that come off because I got them the light. I'm like, dude, they're not even there yet. Like, they're nowhere near that part.
So yeah, I don't know. It was definitely an evening. I regretted it the next day.
Oh, I fucked up going through Best Buy. That's all I gotta say. Amanda, I was struggling for Best Buy for like 20 minutes.
No,
and Amanda came home.
Best Buy is the fucking is the one for me. That's why I currently have two pre-orders because I was initially only able to get Target.
Amanda came home and immediately got me Target, like the bundle, everything. And I'm like, okay. And like the Best Buy app just kept on kicking me out. Like, it kept on crashing.
Everything was broken and garbage. But like, I don't know, my order status on Target is estimated delivery the 6th, the 11th. Motherfucker.
That's fine. When does it launch?
I ain't waiting the 5th.
Oh, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I do. So
as long as
Best Buy gives me a midnight launch. That's where I'm at. I'm at midnight.
Listen, you're gonna hear me bitching. You're gonna hear me bitching every day. What happened? Did I cut out again?
Could you hear that?
No. I mean, I heard the child.
There was a child?
I could have sworn I heard a child just now. Maybe I was just spacing out.
There was someone screaming out front of my house. That's why I don't know if anyone heard
that. Maybe that was maybe that's what I heard then.
Yeah, I don't know. I want that midnight release, so I have that locked in. So I will cancel my Target pre-order probably next week, as long as I don't see any cancellation or funny business from Best Buy. Because I'm nervous that if I prematurely cancel my Target order,
I don't trust Best Buy these days though, because I feel like that's another.
If there was more to that sentence, I don't know what you said. You don't trust Best Buy. If you said something else, I don't know what you said after that.
I just feel like they're going to close soon. So, like, I just don't know. Like, I don't think they're going to be around much longer.
I have no idea.
I don't think it will close between now and when the
June
Switch
5th. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not that quick, but
yeah. I mean,
I feel like there would be rumors about that happening if it was that soon.
I also don't know if that's actually the case, though, because I feel like Mike and I have talked about this, and maybe me and you have talked about this, and now we're just going down a fucking tangent. I hate how we do this thing. Thanks, Mike.
Yes!
I'll just say this, and then we're going to fucking move on. I feel like there really isn't a place to, in person, go buy a lot of appliances. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like,
that's fair.
Unless
Sears is gone, Kmart's gone.
Yeah, so unless a thing like Target or Walmart or something kind of absorbs that into their store, I feel like Best Buy probably still does okay based on like washing machine, refrigerators, whatever other fucking appliances are on that section, plus TVs and maybe a
Car
little bit
sound
computer,
systems.
maybe
Computers, car sound systems.
home theater. Like I feel like they have,
Yeah.
video game stuff. No, I mean there's not. I don't even think there is an Xbox section. Actually, I don't think there's an Xbox section in Target either anymore. I think the games are completely gone for Xbox specifically from both of those stores for the most part. Switch and PlayStation are probably not far behind. Switch will probably be the one that stays the longest.
Yeah, I was in Best Buy a couple weeks ago. Did I look at their games? I don't remember.
It's a very condensed section. Are you talking about Near Us right over here?
Yes.
Yeah, that one still has all three. It is very condensed, but if you go into that Target, or I'm trying to think, I don't think any Target near us anymore has a section in the video game area for Xbox games. Like they're all gone. Physical games. They have like controllers and other things, Xbox things, but they don't have physical copies of games. Whatever they have for physical copies of games is on an end cap because they're going to clearance it out and get rid of it. And I would imagine for the most part, PlayStation is going to slowly also get that treatment. But I think Nintendo, because it has such a strong family and like children demographic, that like,
and they're not making PC ports.
I guess that too. I feel like they can survive longer for whatever reason in a physical format because, I mean, as everything continues to move to digital, I think there's still a place for like Switch games, for at least for now. I don't know. Though, I mean, at the same point, like half the games that are coming out for the Switch that are ports or whatever are game keys in a box. So part of me is like, why I get the idea that like they think they'll sell more copies of the game if there's a box on the shelf, but also like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and I still don't quite understand their whole digital strategy, because like I don't understand the game cards or the game whatever thing that you just said, unless the idea is that if you want to sell this afterwards, like it's a digital copy of a game that you can then
resell. It has anything to do with that. No, I don't think you can resell it. No. When I say game card and it's like you just have a download code in a box.
I understand. Yeah, I know that part, and I don't understand why they would do that unless there's some sort of middle ground where like you get the benefits of a digital copy, but then you get like one of the few benefits of a physical copy, which is you can resell it.
No,
but I don't think they're doing that.
No,
I'm not sure.
You cannot resell digital, as far as I understand. I'm pretty sure that the purpose of it is the game developer publisher that is putting that box out there is hoping that they'll get more sales based on there being something in a store, whereas opposed to like, again, especially very Switch oriented, if Todd wasn't invested in the gaming my mom is probably a good example. My nephew has a Switch and a PlayStation 5. Games that don't exist in physical form are probably not things that she even is aware exist. You know what I mean? So like, those things would just never get purchased by a person as maybe a gift or something because they just don't even know that that's a thing.
That's like a thing to purchase.
Like my mom knows that she can buy, and my nephew will ask for like currency cards, and she knows she can buy that so he can download. I don't know what she thinks he's downloading, but like he knows he can buy games that way. But I don't know. I think it's really they think that if there's the game on the shelf, they will see increased sales of the game.
Yeah,
even if it's just a code in the box. And I think it also might be like a more perceived value than like just like one of those little cards that are hanging on a thing. Anyways, there's that tangent. So before we get into the game and wrap things up, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 469 of the Pass Control Podcast. Friend of the show, fan of the show, all those things. Just leave us a quick 5-star review, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to the show. It's super, 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 super helpful in helping us continue to grow the show. Leave us a nice comment. tell us what you order for coffee, whatever you want to do. Just leave us a nice review, leave us a 5 stars, and leave us a nice comment. It's super helpful. Friendly reminder, we do record the show live every week at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you can't catch the live show, no sweat. Just type in Pass the Controller Podcast on YouTube, and you will see the archived episode there. Go to passthecontroller.io. That's our website to get everything that we do. Written content, drink recipes, links to the podcast, links to the video stuff. Whatever you're looking for under the Pass Controller sun can be linked out to from there. We'd appreciate you if you checked those things out and fucked with us on a deeper level. Anyways, before we wrap things up, I had alluded to at the beginning of the episode that we were going to play a different game we haven't played before tonight. The way this is going to work is I separately asked the 3 of you the same 3 questions.
I fucking knew it. Now you want us to guess what the other person said.
So, this is what we're going to do. Because Mike is in last place, Mike gets to pick who he guesses for. Todd is in second place, so Todd will then pick the last person, and then Dom will get the person who's left over. As a kicker, to make this a little more interesting, I am in the mix. So I have also answered those questions. So you can choose, Mike, to answer who you think you know best. This is like, I don't know if it's... I was trying to think of I thought of this in the shower, literally before we started recording. I was like, this is a good idea. I'm going to try this out, try to make this work in some way. It feels kind of newlywed-ish game, which I think would have worked better if Dom was here and I could have asked the questions on the spot and made you guys write down off the cuff. But because Dom was out, I was like, let me text these things and we'll go that way. Because I still wanted to kind of try it out and workshop this new game and see if it's something we can do again at some point, because I kind of like the idea of it. So, Mike, because I think it's an advantage to pick who you get to pick for. So because you're in last, I'm going to give you that advantage. So you know the questions. Who do you think you know the best that you can answer those questions correctly? And I will also say, so the way the questions are structured, there are 2 answers. If you get one of the answers correct, that is a point. If you get both of the answers correct, that is 3 points. So the potential here, if you full sweep, is a 9-point night. So there's some points at stake. I was initially going to make it a wagering thing, but then I was like, actually, that's going to get too hectic. So we're going to do both correct. It's a 9-point run, or three times per question. So, as you're thinking, do you need to think?
So when I pick a person, do I have to try and answer for all 3 questions?
You are going to answer for all 3 for the person you pick.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel like I'm going to pick Dom.
Okay.
Just so I feel like I've got like a better chance of figuring out what his.
Thank you, Mike.
What his like potential 6 are. I'm just not sure if I actually do have the full 6.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna lock Dom in.
Okay.
Because I feel like you've got a wider breadth of games or like things in general that like I wouldn't be able to pick your N64 games.
Okay.
Or
hold it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's not give the goose away.
And then and then for Todd, I don't know what the fuck Todd's doing. Todd's a
wild card. Todd is a wild card.
Todd's an island of one. I have no idea what's going on with him. He's gonna say that he didn't have those consoles and he doesn't even play that game. Is what it's gonna say.
So
console.
So Todd, that now gives you the pick.
I'm gonna pick you.
Okay. All right. So here's what I'm gonna say before we get going.
I thought Mike was gonna pick you because I feel like
I thought so too, because
I don't know what Dom. Mike, I don't really know, but like,
I felt like I was the layup. That's why I included myself, because I thought I was the layup.
100%, but I still think I probably won't be able to guess all your stuff. But I agree.
I mean, I'll be shocked if anyone guesses everyone's stuff. But I did think that I was the layup with these questions specifically.
Yeah, I think so too.
So Todd picked me. Let me tell Dom that he has Todd, which I think is the hardest of the people to pull.
Actually, I don't think so. Though I think my Nintendo 64 and my Game Boy one tough. But like, I think like Smash, it's like, what is Todd gonna fucking pick? Oh, sorry.
Actually,
I
actually, for specifically that question, I don't know because I've only seen you play one character, and it's
Right,
not on that list.
Exactly. When you had to go silent, I had to fucking ask Brenden, I'm like,
yeah, hold on, we'll get there. We'll get there. So I just texted Todd, Dom, and I said, "You have Todd. Good luck." So while we wait for Dom, we'll just go last because he's busy. So if Dom doesn't get back to us tonight, then we'll reveal those next week. At the beginning of the episode. So
unacceptable.
The questions are, Mike. The first question is, what do you think Dom's 2 favorite Nintendo 64 games are?
Yeah. So I want to say at least one of them is a rare game. So I don't know if I'm going to go with Donkey Kong 64 or Banjo-Kazooie. It might honestly be both, but I feel like it's going to be at least one of them. And then I was trying to think if there's like another one that I could potentially pick. It might be Banjo, and it might be I don't know if I want to pick. Actually, it might even be a Legend of Zelda game too. That's fair. I'm going to say Banjo-Kazooie, and I'm going to say Majora's Mask.
All right, so Mike's gonna lock in Banjo and Majora. Actually, and I need to pull it back. So, are we automatically giving Dom Todd, or does Dom get a choice between Todd and Mike?
I'm fine either way.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll give him the choice. I'll give him the choice.
I'm boned either way.
All right, so Mike guessed Banjo and Majora. Scooping a big fat
0
zero.
points.
If we do this game again and everyone is here, I think I will implement. We'll see how it works. I'll implement like the other person out of that equation. So like if Dom was here, I just wouldn't. Maybe I would still include myself just to give the option. If it's not my thing, maybe the other two can steal and guess correctly. But either way, just
work in progress.
You are wrong on both accounts, Mike. It is DK64.
Okay.
And Mario 64.
Those were the other ones I was picturing. I was like, Mario. I was thinking Mario, and like I said, I think it's one of the rare games.
So if it were me picking for Dom, I was also surprised. I probably would have said Majora, and then it would have been a toss-up between DK or Banjo, I think, is what I would have said for him.
Yeah.
All right, Todd, you have me. What
are my
2 favorite Nintendo 64
I'm
games?
I'm going to say Ocarina and 64. Mario 64.
Oh. Mike, I'm like, my notepad is a mess right now because I'm trying to think of how to keep track of all these points. So you have one correct out of that. Ocarina of Time.
Me, I did.
And Super Smash Brothers.
Okay, that makes sense.
So Todd gets a 1 there. Okay. Dom again. We might not get Doms tonight. So if Dom responds by the end, then I'll do them all at once. But we'll keep going. So Mike, for question number 2, what are Dom's 2 favorite Game Boy games?
Yeah, that I don't know. I can actually.
That's a tough question, and I think that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Game Boy games. I feel as though it may end up being, and now that I know that this is what this game is supposed to be, I feel bad for whoever picks me.
Right. Same with me though.
I'm going to say I feel like it's going to be essentially like whatever the big franchise game is for that console. So essentially, like, I don't want to say Mario Kart, but I think it might end up being like a Mario Kart type of game, like something that has like multiple entries, like their entry on the Game Boy. And I don't even know which Mario Karts were on the Game Boy specifically, so I won't even go there. Let's say I'm going to say no, because that's a game that I liked. I don't think he
This one,
liked it.
so I think this one's even tough for Brendan for me personally.
Let
I
me.
have issues.
I want to just verify something, which I don't think
Mhm.
actually helps you. I think it just complicates things. So I will not reveal it if you don't want me to.
Yeah, that's fair. Because, like, in my head, I'm like, I know I liked a Kirby game on the Game Boy. I don't think that applies to Dom specifically, but I'm like, it's a good game. He should just like that game.
That's kind of what my thought process.
So one of Dom's games is technically a Game Boy Color game, which if it was a Game Boy
Okay.
Advance game, I would say no. But
You would push back.
it's a Game Boy Color game, which you could still play on a
So
Game Boy. It would just be black and
Game
white.
Boy, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to give him a Pokemon game. I don't know which one I would pick. Let's say, let's say blue.
Well, that's what I was
If I
going to
have to-
ask. Are those red, blue, and yellow all? Like, are they all, like, if you said, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's
Red, blue, and yellow
They
are
say
a
red,
Gen
blue.
1. Gold, silver, crystal are a Gen 2. So
Two.
okay.
if there is an answer that is one of those, if you are the correct gen,
okay.
you are correct.
Okay.
So you're gonna say Pokemon Blue.
I'm gonna say blue, and let's say like, what did we play? Let's say blue, and let's say, let's say, you know what? I'm gonna keep saying Kirby in my head, and it's gonna like bother me. So I'm just gonna say Kirby. That's wrong. I have got no faith in that answer. I feel like he might have said a Pokemon game. I don't know if I would have been Gen 1 or Gen 2, but I'm gonna say those two things.
Okay.
Listen, I'm already in last. I'm not gonna catch up. I'm not too worried about that.
Well, don't be too down on yourself, Mike, because you got 1 out of 2 there, and it wasn't.
So he did pick a Gen 1 game. He did pick a Gen 1 Pokemon.
And I won't give you bonus points because I feel like that is maybe not fair.
Yeah, that's not
But you
necessary.
did actually pick blue, which is what he picked. So
Okay.
you do get a point for Pokemon Blue. Todd, what do you think my favorite Game Boy games are?
I
Game Boy
think
games.
I think this is easily the hardest one. I wanted to say a Pokemon game, but I'm gonna take that out of the equation, even though I think that's gonna kick me in the ass. But I just don't know where to guess on Pokemon because I'm fucking. So where I'm falling now, I want to say Tetris, but I also want to say Super Mario Land and Link's Awakening. So I'm torn right now on what to do. I'm gonna definitely say Super Mario Land.
Okay.
And fuck, it's gonna be a Pokemon game, probably. Fucking, you guys love that stupid shit. I'm gonna say Tetris.
Okay.
Probably double zeros.
Well, Mike, like I said, I wouldn't be too down on yourself because Todd just got a big old goose egg because not Super Mario Land, not Tetris. Gut was there though, Todd, because my 2 favorite are, at least what I put
Link's
down,
Awakening?
are Pokemon Red
Yep.
and Link's Awakening.
Fuck. Yeah. See, I had them.
You
I
were
had
there.
them
You
both
were
there,
right
and I
there.
just
You
fucking-
you said them and then didn't
I
say
knew it.
them.
Yep. I chose other things.
I know the right answer, but I'm going to guess incorrectly.
I like this game a lot, actually. The next time we do a game show night, I might just like do one kind of catered around this. I kind of like this format. It's pretty fun.
It's interesting.
Maybe I'll tweak it some more. Okay. The third question that I posed to you all, which is the reason why we had to mute before you had to mute Mike before we started recording, because this is what Todd was so hung up on. He literally texted me, or I guess I'll let the listeners know what the question is. The question is, out of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC fighters, who, if you were going to 1v1 somebody, who do you think you would play the best as? And who do you think you would play the worst as out of the DLC fighters specifically? And Todd wrote to me, what is going on with my phone? Todd wrote, what if I never played any of these? Because I also sent the picture just to like clarify like these characters.
Who the characters were, yeah.
So there's that.
I did play some of them, but I never played them like more than twice, probably.
Yeah. So that is the question, Mike. Initially, it was just going to be the Smash roster, but I was like, I feel like we all know the ones for everybody. Like,
we all know
Todd, it would be Luigi. If it was me, what would you say?
Well, Toon Link, but then you complained about how Toon Link changed, right?
How about Ultimate?
In Ultimate,
yeah.
In Ultimate, who'd you play as an Ultimate? It's been such a long time. I don't think
Oh
you switched
my
to
God.
Young Link.
I would
did
say,
not.
what's it call it? The Pokemon person that sleeps.
No, well, no.
Did you switch to-
Jigglypuff is not
Jigglypuff.
my number one big dog.
No.
It's probably
Jigglypuff.
it's a tough 1-2.
Wait, don't say it. Don't
It's
say
like a
it.
tough
Don't say
1A, 1B, but I think there's a clear 1A, and they are sitting on my desk.
I know.
Yeah, I
like,
can see
I
desk.
can't, we haven't played in so long, and like
We haven't played it in a long
to
time. So
think-
I remember, who did you switch to? Because I
know.
remember specifically you used to play as
Oh,
Toon Link,
Game & Watch.
and you were
They have
upset.
been in the game since Melee.
I mean, you do break out the Jigglypuff every once in a while.
Jigs is like
And
my Dan Hibiki though. Jigs is like my I am going to try to make you sleep. Like my goal is to try to kill you by sleeping.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
did
lose
play
every time.
Mewtwo a lot. I think you did break out Mewtwo a lot.
Mewtwo's
Oh,
Mewtwo's
Mewtwo
probably my
definitely,
best
yeah, yeah.
character in Smash Ultimate. I think K. Rool is probably a very close second. I think I'm not as good in Ultimate with Zero Suit as I used to be. I feel like Mewtwo's like by far my best character.
Your best, yeah.
I feel like you would never guess mine either.
Like if I was gonna 1v1 somebody, I feel like I would pull out Mewtwo unless up front I thought it was a bad matchup. I feel like Mewtwo's like my very solid pick.
Your guy.
Todd only plays Luigi, so
Yes, Todd only plays Luigi,
I mean-
which is why when we said like you have to guess for something else, I'm like, I don't even know. I've only seen Todd play Luigi.
I mean for you, I feel pretty comfortable saying Game & Watch unless it's Falcon, but I feel like it's Game &
definitely.
Watch.
Game & Watch is my
game.
guy.
Okay.
100%.
And then Dom, I think is he still a
I don't even know what Dom is.
Ganondorf in Ultimate?
It's been like a long time. So like
Maybe it's a
at this point I
dig.
do have to guess through like these 12 characters? No, 15 characters. I have to guess through these 15 characters. No, I was right the first time. 12. 4. And like I'm trying to remember, like I do remember playing with you guys after these characters were released, but I'm trying to remember if it was like Dom who picked up these characters and played well, or if it was like maybe you.
You're talking about the DLC fighters?
The DLC fighters.
See, this is an interesting one because it doesn't really matter who you remember playing as who. It's like
Who you feel
it's
comfortable with.
who is you have Dom. Who does Dom think he is the best with out of those?
Exactly. That's
characters?
what I'm thinking. But like in my mindset is okay. The last time we played together, and then maybe one of us had picked one of these DLC characters, and they performed well. Whether or not they thought they would do well beginning, like picking that character, like I want to say they're not on this list, but I feel like Dom got really good with not Byleth, Corrin. I feel like Dom was using Corrin for some reason, and he was doing very well. Not
maybe
that
that's a way
he
to
would
suss out
think-
who you think he would do well. Like again, because I think that I shouldn't reveal more information. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't have to reveal more information, but I feel like he might have picked up a character on a whim and then did well and then realized after the fact, as opposed to someone like, again, using Dom as an example because he's my guest, like he might have gravitated to pick up Banjo and Kazooie and then realize, this isn't really working out, but I'm actually really good at Terry. This is not what actually happened. I'm just saying,
I think I have Brendan's.
As a matter of fact, I feel like Dom wanted to get good with Mega Man. I don't think he ever. I feel like he never like locked in on Mega Man. I feel like he already gravitated to somebody else. Maybe. It's been a while.
So best worst that for being Dom out of the DLC fighters.
I feel like one of you guys ended up like actually being pretty decent with Lin Lin. Is that her name? Min Min from.
Yeah.
I feel like one of you guys.
Someone
used Min Min, but I don't remember.
It was me.
It was Todd all along.
I actually
for the listeners' sake, while you're sussing this out, I'll just run through them so people listening who are not familiar with what we're guessing on. The DLC fighters include Piranha Plant, Joker. These are in order of release: Piranha Plant, Joker, Hero, Banjo-Kazooie, Terry, Byleth, Min Min, Steve Alex, Sephiroth, Pyramithra, Kazuya, and Sora. So, Mike, best worst for Dom out of those characters?
I feel as though did he get good with Banjo, or was it Min Min? I think it might have been you for Min Min. I think you might have picked up Min Min and ended up really just nailing it with stretchy arms. I don't think he used Hero. I don't think he's. I'm going to pick Banjo. I don't think that's actually correct. I feel like that's just me being like just falling into like the Dom rare video game stereotype. I feel like that's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. And then for worst, I'm gonna say Hero.
Okay. I'm not going to reveal them yet. Todd, what do you think for me?
Okay.
So Mike just said Hero, and I feel like you played Hero a little bit, but I'm going to go with your best Piranha Plant. For your worst, I am going to go. I don't know your worst. Steve?
Okay.
I honestly, Piranha Plant I knew for sure. Like if I was picking you up, like, oh no, Brenden fucking loved Piranha Plant. I remember that.
Brenden
fucking loved Piranha Plant.
There's probably an episode of the podcast when Piranha Plant was announced that we talked about that character being added. I actually should find it and listen to it because I don't know how I felt initially, but let me tell you, Piranha Plant is my fucking guy. Like Piranha Plant
so
might be.
I got it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, sorry, Mike. Todd gets a fucking 3-point sweep because absolutely, I don't know what the fuck Minecraft Steve is doing on that map. I have no idea how that character plays. And let me say, like when I was thinking about what my worst characters out of the DLC were, I'm like, I've barely used Pyramithra, I've barely used Kazuya, I've barely used Sora. I still think I could fumble around with them more than I could with Steve. Like, I don't know what the fuck Steve does. Hero is a very close to Steve situation, but Hero is fun to play, so I think I would still.
I think I wouldn't know other than the RNG of his down B.
Yeah.
I think I could fuck around with Hero.
I feel like to play as Minecraft Steve, and I'm just gonna keep calling him Minecraft Steve. I feel like you need to know how Minecraft works. Like, I feel like you need to know how to build fucking weapons, and I'm like, I don't know how to.
Oh, dude, I've seen people play him, and it's crazy. The people know how to play.
Steve's broken as fuck. I don't know if they're still broken. I don't know if they've been updated
I feel like that was a thing, yeah.
But, yeah, Steve Alex, broken as fuck. But, yeah, Todd gets the 3-point sweep there because absolutely correct. Mikey, how you feeling about yours? How you feeling?
Not great. Again, I'm struggling to remember the last I played Smash with Dom, and I can't remember.
At my apartment. It's probably at my apartment.
It's probably your apartment, and like I straight up don't remember. Like even when the DLC came out, I don't remember like what he would have picked. And then we got to a point where we were always picking random anyway.
Yeah.
So then like I don't know what he would have gravitated towards and like actually considered himself good at with.
So
I don't think it was Banjo. I
you
just
picked
picked him
Banjo.
because I picked Banjo, but like because they were all essentially the same to me in terms. Like I'm gonna say I do not believe he thought it was Minecraft. Minecraft Steve. Like if I were to say like I don't think it was this. It'd be funny if he did pick that one. Like that would be hilarious. I feel like that's not the one he picked.
I'm gonna read Dom's full text for this answer.
Mhm.
I barely use the DLC fighters, so by default, Sora is probably my best because I used him a little, and Steve
Okay.
is probably my worst because I don't even know how to use him.
Yes.
So that's a double 0 for you there, unfortunately.
What did
Did
I
you
say
say
first?
Steve? No,
What did I? S-
You said Banjo Hero,
Okay.
which I think Hero is
I
best, to be honest. And
Yeah, I honestly I thought about I was going to say Steve, but I feel like I don't know what's going on with Todd. I feel like for the rest of us, we probably had Steve pretty low on our list. I didn't want to like just pick it based off of what I was thinking, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Like I thought he would have put it low. I wasn't sure if he was gonna put it like straight up bottom.
So this is what I'll do for both of your sets of answers, since we don't know what you both did. Because Dom is unavailable and not able to answer or pick between the two of you, I'm going to hold all of your both answers.
I still get 4 points though, right?
Oh, yeah. No, Mike gets 1 point tonight. You get 4 points tonight. Dom is still eligible for his points. But for the, for the drama, for the excitement, I will not reveal either of your answers right now. So that way Dom can send them to me this weekend at his leisure. And then when we record next, we will start the episode with that so that he can have that moment and it's not already out onto the podcast. Listeners don't already know the answers. Not that I think Dom would fucking scroll to the end of the episode to find the answers, but like just so that it's like it's all here. It's
All above board.
in the box in my head. But that was fun. I liked that. I mean, it goes on for a long time, but I think
Right.
that's a
I mean, in
good
fairness, it's
future-
because we were talking around Dom.
there's that, and also I mean we did bump it out because we talked about other shit when we were trying to end anyway. But it's fine. It is what it is. But that I don't know. I liked it. A future. We should bring this back in the future. Yes. No.
Yeah, definitely.
No, why not? Whatever.
Okay.
I don't care.
We got to come up with a good name for it. But that will end the week without Dom's points being added, obviously. But that will end this week with Mike at 11, still in third place, and Todd picking up 4 points, which puts him at 25, reclaiming the crown for now. We'll see. And I only say for now because Dom still gets the guess. But
good luck if he's guessing that. Actually, I think
he gets the pick. He gets the pick. Obviously, don't like accidentally text the group or something about these things because obviously Dom doesn't know.
Who's still on the table? It's me and Todd, right?
He gets the pick between you and you two. Yes. So
Okay.
He hasn't responded to who he wants to guess for, but he knows that's what he has to do. So once those are locked in, we'll be good to go. But I still think if it works out, if the conversation doesn't happen throughout the week between various text messages, don't bring it up if you can preserve it, because I think it'll be fun to like reveal it on the episode.
Yeah, as soon as you get off, I want to see if Mike can guess mine.
Yes, actually, I was gonna have him do that. I was gonna have you two do it when we got off to each other for no points. But that'll do it for this week's episode 469. We appreciate you. We will see you next time.